Hey everyone, it's me, Vie Darling. I am coming to you as your cosmic queen and energy interpreter. I'm going to do a little bit of skincare while I talk to you all because I don't know, the self-care just feels good to do while I talk to you. So I'm going to talk to you all about twin flames and what that all means and what I think about that. I don't necessarily believe in twin flames the way that a lot of people believe in it, and like karmics and twin flames and blah blah blah. Like, I truly believe that we are our own twin flames, and like it's just the different parts of us that are, as I've been saying, disparate and fragmented. Those parts of us that, like, you know, we get these veils of illusion placed on top of us and we don't see ourselves clearly. We see ourselves as separate entities. And that is a byproduct of existing in the 3D. We see ourselves separate from the collective. We see ourselves separate from source, from the universe, from, you know, the divine. And that's just simply not true. And really everything that we experience in this 3D life is about coming back to ourselves. It's about coming back to center. And every relationship that we have in life is about bringing us back to our relationship with ourselves. And that's why I say, like, all relationships are predicated upon our relationship with ourselves. They're all a reflection of our relationship with ourselves. And if our relationship with self is not healthy, then we are not going to have good relationships with anything else. This has a lot to do with the solar plexus. Because that's really, for me, like that God consciousness, that God space. The solar plexus, it has to do with the Sirius B, I think. And so for me, I'm just gonna grab my water. Is it in here even? I think so, because this bag was really heavy today. Yeah, so for me, I think it's super important to iterate that, like, you know, if we don't have a healthy relationship with ourselves, that's going to stymie our relationship with the divine. If we have been taught self-loathing, you know, that there's something wrong with us, that's going to ruin our relationship with the divine because we think that we're not lovable. And the truth is, like, we can't accept love. Love is unconditional. And if we think that there are conditions on the universe's love for us just because other people may not show us the love that we need, then we're going to have an issue with ourselves, and we're going to have an issue with the divine and the universe. And that really gets in the way of co-creation. And this is really coming out of, like, everything that's been going on with Taurus season, evaluating our relationships, reprioritizing our relationships, and really coming to understand, like, how we show up in our relationships and how that impacts things. Once again, as I said, it all has to do with our relationship with self, and that is including the capital S sacred self, higher power, the divine. So when I talk about twin flames, like, that's what it is. Like, you are a flame, and then capital S sacred self is the flame. We see ourselves as separate, and every single thing that we do is simply bringing us back to self. We are our own twin flame. So all of the disparate little parts of ourselves need to be recollected and reintegrated so that we can, and then we will be full. That's the thing of it. It's like, oh, I won't be full until I find my twin flame. You're your own twin flame, so you won't be full until you find yourself. And you're not going to have a good relationship with anybody else until you have a good relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself is not healthy, which it's not if you're thinking that because you're codependent. You're not going to have a good relationship with anyone else because it's going to be sick and toxic. Nobody is going to complete you other than yourself. Any time that anybody else does, it is simply because they are a reflection of you that is bringing you back to yourself. Paradise is within. The kingdom of heaven, or the queendom, like heaven in its fullness lives within you. And it's about when you are able to be fully integrated within yourself and exist in the world in harmony with the universe that you exist within. And that's been coming with all of this matrix healing that we've been doing in the past year. So Now you understand that thing about twin flames? It's nobody is your twin flame. You are your twin flame. And so then it's like, oh, well, my karmic relationships, they feel faded. Like, yeah, they are faded. They're faded so that you can come back to yourself. Those lessons that you experience with that person, those lessons are for the both of you, because you all match one another for the lessons that both of you need to learn. Oh, but this person is a mirror. Every single relationship you have shows you about your relationship with self. That person is a mirror. So why are you focusing on what they do, but you're not focusing on what you do to contribute to that relationship? When you are able to ascend out of whatever it is that's keeping this karmic cycle going, like, yeah, you probably did know each other in a past life, and that spirit is going to keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back until your spirit gets right, your spirit gets shifted. The karmic contracts are dead. All karmic contracts are dead. You can choose to continue those same patterns, but just know it's you choosing to do that. It's not about the other person. It's about you and your choices and what you do. And until you realize that, you will never, ever get free. Okay, so I'm out of contact lenses. That's why I've been wearing my glasses. And so I'm just like checking the time, because this is for IGTV, so it's only gonna be 15 minutes. So yeah, that being said, we have all had karmic relationships that have felt faded, and we feel like spiritually connected to these people because we are. They don't have to last forever. They only, like, that's the thing about like every culture that has come out of the ancient Egyptian culture, and that's not Commission, but Egyptian specifically, because it goes Egypt, Greco-Romantic, then the Romans colonized Europe, and then the Europeans colonized the rest of the world. So we're living in that empire still, and they are obsessed with fixedness. And that's just not the flow of the universe. They are also obsessed with masculinity, and that's why their shit got rocked, you know? That's not the flow of the universe. That's why none of it works. That's why it's bad. That's why it's crumbling, because that's the magic that's still being used to have social dominance today. And that's like, it's a failure. And so you're going to continue to fail in your manifestations. You'll never build anything that lasts, because you're not building in the reality of the universe. Because the reality of the universe is flow. It's flow. And so it's really important to understand that if things are not working out for you, if your manifestations don't feel right, it's because you're not in flow enough. And you don't know how to be in flow if you're not feeling your emotions, if you're not being in your body, constantly trying to escape to the future, trying to escape into relationships with other nouns. Those are people, places, things, situations, institutions, anything that exists outside of you and you. You're constantly trying to escape yourself, your shadow self. We've talked about this throughout. And this is what the whole twin flame journey is about, is understanding the you that you don't want to be with, but that is you. Like, that's the twin flame that you're running away from. You want love, you want healthy relationships, you want to be in congress with others. You have to get right within. You have to get right with your shadow. That's part of you. The Pisces fullness. 12D, unconditional love. Oh, when I do this, then I'll be able to love myself. No, you need to love yourself right now, or nothing's really going to get cracking for you. Nothing's going to get popping for you. You're going to continue to suffer. You're going to continue to feel empty and fragmented and unwell, and you're going to be more and more consciously aware of how unwell you feel, because that's where we're coming into with this current energy as we ascend into the fifth dimensional reality of the age of Aquarius. Okay, so I don't know where my little scoopy tool is, and that's annoying because I don't want to put my fingers inside of my jar. Well, whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And so the whole runner chaser thing, that is making you, that's because you're emotionally unavailable. You don't want to be with yourself. You're not making yourself fully available to yourself. You're hiding from your emotions. You're running from your emotions you're running from yourself. You're running from the work that you have to do. You're running from the shadow work and abandoning yourself. And that's why you don't have any healthy, trustworthy relationships, because you are not trustworthy. You can't have a trustworthy relationship with yourself because you're constantly abandoning yourself, chasing after people who are also doing the same thing. And they know that if they turn around and they work with you, like their relationship with you could probably really do some healing for them, really force them to face themselves, but they don't want to do that because, hey, guess what? They're on the same BS as you. But if they did turn around, you'd probably be like, no, I don't want this. I'm sorry. Like, but I don't know what I was thinking. I gotta go. Because that's how this whole thing goes. It's just this cycle of emotional unavailability, insatiability, because we cannot connect with ourselves and be with ourselves. There is, like, if someone wanted to be with you, they would make the effort to be with you, and it's really as simple as that. And like, you know, I say this because, like, I know I've been there, I've been through that, and the reality is, like, I was emotionally unavailable because I was chasing after people who were emotionally unavailable, constantly trying to prove my value to people who did not value me or see my value, or people who couldn't understand me, could not be there for me in the ways that I needed them to be. And part of that is because I was unhealthy. I didn't know what it was that I needed. I needed to do the shadow work. I needed to be alone for some time to reintegrate. And right now, I think a lot of people need to realize, like, right now is not the time to be worried about connecting with other people. It may be like, oh, I'm in my power again. Like, all right, let me go out there. No, you're in your power again. Learn how to be in your power. Learn how to be in your power, because that's what you've been running from this whole time. Settling for people who didn't want you to be powerful, didn't want you to be empowered. You don't need to be running after anyone. You learn to be with your power. You learn to be in Congress with yourself. You learn to be integrated, and then it will happen for you when you learn how to be who you are. There's that twin flame stuff, like, oh my God, runner, chaser, blah, blah, blah. No, none of that's real. It's all just karmic contracts. You're your twin flame. Yes, you're gonna find the person that you're meant to be with. And that doesn't even need to last forever. It may be a lot of different people over a lot of different courses of time. It's really dependent on you and who you are and what your life is about. Do you even want to be with someone forever? Do you even know what you want? Learn about you, get to know you, romance you, date you, and let everybody else just be like a part of it. A part of your process. Stop being the side character in someone else's movie and get to know yourself, because you can't even be with anybody until you're with yourself. You really can't. And people deserve more than that. So, yeah, that's really all that I have to say about twin flames and karmic relationships. I truly believe this. It's maybe time to start focusing on our friendships that support us, focusing on our favorite things, focusing on figuring out what feels good and what makes us feel like our best version of ourselves. Have fun. Stop taking everything so seriously. Play with your inner child. Ask your inner child what they need. Show up for them. Have fun in your life. That's where we're at. I love you all truly and deeply. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my Patreon, which is linked in my bio. I love you all. I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have, because if you have them, somebody else probably has them too. Okay, bye.